In the UFC, all that the fighters desire is to climb the ladder to become the ultimate heavyweight champ of their division. So it's only natural for someone to call out the next best fighter after overcoming another great fighter. This was the same case for Geoff Neal, as he called out Gilbert Burns after ruthlessly dispatching Vicente Luque. This and more in today's video. Kicking us off, Geoff Neal lobbies for Gilbert Burns to fight him, not Jorge Masvidal. Geoff Neal thinks that he should be Gilbert Burns' next opponent. Neal talked more about his call-out of the one-time welterweight title challenger on the MMA Hour last week. The call-out was made after Neal beat Vicente Luque by knockout in the co-main event of UFC Vegas 59. Neal knows that Burns has been trying to fight BMF champion Jorge Masvidal for a long time, but he doesn't see why he can't fight Burns first. Neal said, "It depends on Jorge and how long Gilbert wants to wait for Jorge to make up his mind. I'm here right now. I'm ready to fight. We can go ahead and finish this on the MSG card, or we can wait until December. But Gilbert and I could fight before the end of the year. If that's what Gilbert wants, I'm right here, ready to do it. Masvidal will always be there, so you don't have to worry about that. He'll probably say he wants to fight when he comes out next year, maybe in March. But why should he wait for him when I'm here? I'm ready to go to war." Masvidal recently talked to MMA Fighting and said that he would rather fight Conor McGregor for a lot of money, but he would also like to fight Burns. Masvidal doesn't know how soon he can sign up for a fight, no matter what he decides, because he's still dealing with injuries and an ongoing assault case from when he allegedly attacked rival Colby Covington outside of a Florida restaurant in March. Neal, on the other hand, just had one of the best matches of his career against Luque, who was ranked in the top 10. Neal said that Burns' call-out was just a matter of elimination, because several big names in the welterweight division were already booked or were out of the running for now. Burns just fought the undefeated contender Khamzat Chimaev in a thrilling match at UFC 273. Chimaev won the fight by unanimous decision. Chimaev had already beaten all of his opponents up to that point, so some people saw Burns sending him to the scorecards as a moral victory. Neal is one of the people who thought Burns did a good job. Well, earlier on this year, Jorge Masvidal welcomed fight against Gilbert Burns, but declines offer for no takedowns. Jorge Masvidal still doesn't know who he'll fight next in the UFC, but he would love to go up against Gilbert Burns, who has been in the running for the title before. The UFC's first and only BMF champion has almost given up on fighting Conor McGregor. He has also agreed to fight Burns, who has been asking for the fight for a few weeks. Burns even gave Masvidal the chance to fight him standing up, but only if he agreed to sign a contract saying that the Brazilian wrestler wouldn't try to take him down once during the fight. Masvidal says that he would gladly fight Burns if the UFC asked him to, but he doesn't want the well-known jiu-jitsu black belt to give up on any of his weapons, even if that means the fight will end up on the ground. Burns was very polite when he called out Masvidal because he doesn't think a fight between them needs trash talk when the fight itself can say enough. Masvidal has had many bitter rivalries in the past, but he liked how Burns approached the idea of a fight with him. This was especially true after he tried for months to get McGregor to fight him, but heard almost nothing from the Irish superstar. Before Masvidal commits to anything, he has to clear up some legal issues. He's facing assault charges from an alleged fight with former teammate and opponent Colby Covington in March. Masvidal is still cautiously optimistic that he'll be able to compete again before the end of 2022, but he doesn't want to make any promises to his opponents that he can't keep. Gilbert Burns' plans include Jorge Masvidal, then a Khamzat Chimaev rematch, not Geoff Neal. In a perfect world, Gilbert Burns would fight Jorge Masvidal and then fight Khamzat Chimaev again. Burns, 20-5 in the MMA, 13-5 in the UFC, pushed the unbeaten star Chimaev to the limit in their last fight at UFC 273 in April, but Chimaev was able to hold on longer. Even though the former title contender lost, his stock went up. Burns just signed a new deal with the UFC for multiple fights. He has been trying to get a fight with Masvidal, who is 35-16 in the MMA, 12-9 in the UFC, who has also shown interest in the fight. Burns told reporters, including MMA Junkie on the red carpet of the UFC Hall of Fame, "I think Jorge Masvidal is next. I'll be ready to fight Jorge Masvidal in September or October." Burns thinks that a fight with Masvidal would give him the chance to fight Chimaev again, who is 11-0 in the MMA, 5-0 in the UFC. The main event of UFC 278 on August 20th will be a rematch between UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards. Durinho thinks it will be hard for Chimaev to find a fight, so he'll be happy to fight him again. "Absolutely, I'll take that matchup again," Burns said. "I want to do 2 rematches, first with Khamzat and then Kamaru. Those are the 2 I'm going to keep going after." He went on, "But I do think that if I beat Jorge Masvidal well, I could be in that position. I know it would be hard to find an opponent for Khamzat. I don't know what that crazy talk about Nate Diaz is about, but I have a feeling it will be hard. That's why I want to get that fight with Masvidal over with as soon as possible." With a potential rematch in the air, Khamzat Chimaev sends ominous warning to Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns has kept trying to get Khamzat Chimaev to fight him. Durinho posted a tweet on his official Twitter account asking UFC President Dana White to schedule the fight. Burns, who once tried to win the UFC welterweight title, also said that the fight between him and Chimaev should last 5 rounds. Khamzat Chimaev recently warned Gilbert Burns, who is also a welterweight star in the UFC. Chimaev used his official Twitter account to post a message in Portuguese that seemed to say he was ready to hurt his rival Durinho. Most people think that Chimaev's next fight will be against Gilbert Burns. Burns showed a screenshot of a chat between the two welterweights, which showed that they seemed to agree to fight online. Both of them wanted to fight in April or May of 2022. Even though there was a lot of buzz about the fight, Durinho is worried that it won't happen because the UFC hasn't made an official announcement. Gilbert Burns' last fight was against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson at UFC 264 in July 2021. He won by unanimous decision against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Before this, the Brazilian fought Kamaru Usman for the welterweight belt, but he was knocked out in the first round by TKO. Even so, most people agree that Burns' win over Wonderboy helped him keep his spot as one of the best welterweight fighters. Khamzat Chimaev, on the other hand, won by submission in the first round against Li Jingliang at UFC 267 in October 2021. Boris has never lost in his professional MMA career. He has 10 wins and no losses. Finally, with Neal's potential fight against Burns looking hopeless, all we can do is take a look at how he fared in his last fight, which was by far the biggest fight of his career. Vicente Luque and Geoff Neal fought in a welterweight match in Las Vegas at UFC Apex. After a bloody fight, Neal stopped the fight in the 3rd round. The fight started with big kicks from both men. Luque tried to speed things up, but both men landed right away. Neal's counter left from his back foot kept working well. Another left turn threw Luque off. That cross looked like a piston, and with a minute left, it put Luque down for good. The Brazilian got back on his feet, but it was clear that his injuries were starting to bother him. Neal gave his opponent one last shake to end a great first round. But the 3rd round was when things got really exciting. Early in the 3rd round, when Luque was trying to kick him, Neal landed some early lefts. The Brazilian scored with a jump knee, but he ate a left, and one more. The next turn to the left really shook Luque, and he fell into the fence. Hands of Steel followed him to the cage and hit him with a huge combo. Neal took a chance and stayed in the pocket even when Luque began to shoot back. So he was the first person to stop Vicente Luque with blows. Really, this was by far the best Neal has ever looked, and this was his best win ever. Incredible. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Make sure to like and follow for more amazing UFC content. Until next time, cheers!